The Lost Atari Cartridge, The Unlikely Trio. Title: The Unlikely Trio. Chapter 1. The Coffee Shop Encounter. In the heart of the bustling city, where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the cacophony of traffic, three very different lives intersected. Matt, Paul, and Ben found themselves drawn together by fate, or perhaps by the universe's wicked sense of humor. Matt, with his perpetually disheveled hair and a grin that could light up a room, was the embodiment of carefree. He floated through life like a dandelion seed caught in a summer breeze. His job? Well, he didn't really have one. Matt believed in following his whims, whether it was chasing rainbows or collecting pebbles shaped like famous landmarks. His motto, "Why walk when you can skip?" Paul, on the other hand, was a relic from the neon-soaked 80s. His apartment was a shrine to vintage TV shows, complete with lava lamps, Rubik's cubes, and a collection of cassette tapes that would make any hipster weep with envy. At 40, he still wore acid-washed jeans, his favorite pastime, rewatching episodes of Knight Rider and pretending his car had a talking dashboard. And then there was Ben, the weary soul who dragged himself to the same coffee shop every morning. His suit was perpetually wrinkled, and his tie seemed to strangle him a little more each day. Ben's job involved spreadsheets, meetings, and an endless stream of corporate jargon. He'd forgotten what it felt like to laugh. His motto, "Life is a series of deadlines." One rainy Tuesday, they all converged at Cafe Serendipity. Matt was sipping a chai latte, humming a tune only he knew. Paul sat in the corner booth, his eyes glued to a portable TV playing reruns of Miami Vice. Ben nursed his black coffee, staring into the abyss of his laptop screen. Matt, spotting Paul's retro t-shirt featuring the Ghostbusters logo, slid into the booth opposite him. "Hey man, Ghostbusters fan, huh? I once tried to build a proton pack out of cardboard. Didn't catch any ghosts, but I scared the neighbor's cat." Paul's eyes widened. "No way, you're my kind of crazy." And just like that, they were fast friends, reminiscing about Ecto-1 and debating whether Slimer was misunderstood. Meanwhile, Ben rolled his eyes. He'd seen enough 80s nostalgia to last a lifetime. But when Matt's infectious laughter reached his ears, something shifted. Maybe it was the caffeine, or perhaps the universe had other plans. Ben abandoned his spreadsheet and shuffled over to their table. "Mind if I join?" Ben asked, his voice gruff. Matt beamed. "Of course, we're forming a club, the Nostalgia Nerds." And so, the Unlikely Trio was born. Matt taught them to dance in the rain, Paul introduced them to the art of air guitar, and Ben learned that life wasn't just about deadlines. It was about skipping stones, quoting 80s movie lines, and finding joy in the simplest moments. As they clinked their mismatched coffee mugs, Matt raised his chai latte to friendship, randomness, and the pursuit of happiness. Paul mimicked a drum roll on the table, and to the greatest decade ever, the 80s. Ben hesitated, then smiled, a genuine one, to breaking free from the daily grind. And so, in that cozy coffee shop, three lives collided: a happy-go-lucky dreamer, a retro enthusiast, and a weary office drone. Little did they know that their friendship would change everything, for them, and for Cafe Serendipity. Chapter 2. The Quest for the Lost Cartridge. One rainy afternoon, huddled in their favorite corner at Cafe Serendipity, the Unlikely Trio stumbled upon an intriguing article in a dusty 80s magazine that Matt found tucked away in a forgotten corner of the shop. It spoke of a legendary lost Atari cartridge, a game rumored to be so unique and groundbreaking that it vanished from existence. Eyes widened, they exchanged excited glances, and the spark of a new adventure ignited within them. Matt, the dreamer, envisioned it as a treasure hunt straight out of their favorite movies. Paul, the retro enthusiast, couldn't resist the allure of uncovering a piece of gaming history. Even Ben, with his usual skepticism, saw the potential for a thrilling escapade that transcended the ordinary. With newfound determination, the Nostalgia Nerds set out to track down the elusive cartridge. They combed through dusty archives, interviewed seasoned gamers who whispered tales of the lost game, and followed a cryptic trail of 80s pop culture references that hinted at its whereabouts. Their quest took them to quirky pawn shops, eccentric collectors' basements, and even a video game convention, where they met a conspiracy theorist who swore the cartridge was the key to a secret government project. The more they searched, the more the legend of the lost Atari cartridge seemed like a puzzle waiting to be solved. As the trio delved deeper into the mystery, their friendship faced challenges. Disagreements arose, doubts crept in, and the weight of their ordinary lives threatened to pull them apart. But just like in the movies they cherished, they realized that the true treasure wasn't the mythical cartridge, but the bond they shared. One evening, as they gathered in Cafe Serendipity to regroup, Matt held up a crumpled map covered in handwritten notes and sketches. "Guys, I think we're close. But what if finding the cartridge isn't the end? What if it's about the journey and the memories we create along the way?" Paul, surrounded by stacks of old gaming magazines, looked up with a twinkle in his eye. "Maybe the game isn't lost. It's waiting for us to play it, right here in our hearts." Ben, leaning back in his chair with a half-smile, conceded, "All right, let's find this darn cartridge and make it a symbol of our friendship. Win or lose, it'll be our story to tell." Chapter 3. The Quest for the Lost Cartridge. Dave, guardian of lost games. Leaving the cozy confines of Cafe Serendipity, the unlikely trio embarked on their quest with the parchment clutched tightly in their hands. The ancient wisdom contained within the mysterious document guided them through the city, leading them to the outskirts, where the urban clamor faded into the serene whispers of the enchanted forest. As the trio entered the woods, their path dappled with the fading sunlight. They followed the intricate markings on the parchment. The dense forest embraced them, and the air seemed to shimmer with the magic of forgotten tales. Each step felt like a journey into the past, and the anticipation in their hearts grew. Guided by the cryptic instructions on the parchment, they stumbled upon a tranquil clearing bathed in the soft glow of twilight. Dave, the keeper of lost games, awaited them on a moss-covered log. The parchment, now more alive than ever, seemed to resonate with the ancient wisdom that Dave imparted. As the trio absorbed the tales of the enchanted forest, their eyes were drawn to the parchment. Its symbols and markings glowed with an ethereal light, reacting to the rich lore shared by Dave. The realization struck them. The parchment wasn't just a map. It was a vessel of stories, a conduit connecting them to the forest's timeless wisdom. Dave's knowing nod held a silent promise, and with a sweep of his hand, he gestured towards the parchment as if inviting the unlikely trio to unravel its secrets. The parchment, now glowing with an otherworldly light, seemed to respond to the ancient wisdom shared by Dave. "Seekers of the lost," Dave began, his voice a gentle breeze weaving through the leaves. "The journey ahead is not just about finding a relic from the past, but understanding the interconnectedness of all things. The lost Atari cartridge is more than a tangible game. It is a vessel of memories, a bridge between worlds." He guided their attention to specific symbols on the parchment, each representing an aspect of their journey. The first clue lies in the heart of the forest, where the trees whisper tales of forgotten quests. "Follow the echoes, and you shall find the path to a realm where the past and present dance in harmony." As Dave spoke, the symbols on the parchment rearranged themselves, forming a map that seemed to lead deeper into the enchanted woods. The key, now in the trio's hands, resonated with the unfolding revelation. "The second clue," Dave continued, his gaze shifting towards a moonlit clearing, "awaits beneath the silver glow of the ancient oak. There, you'll find a portal to a realm where pixels and reality meld, a gateway to the next phase of your journey." The unlikely trio, entranced by Dave's guidance, felt a surge of anticipation. The parchment, responding to the keeper's words, illuminated the symbols corresponding to the moonlit clearing. The key, now an emblem of both their journey and the enchanted forest's blessings, seemed to pulse with shared excitement. Dave's gaze lingered on them, a silent reassurance that the forest held not just challenges but allies in their quest. "Remember, the lost Atari cartridge is not just an artifact. It's a bridge between worlds, a testament to the threads that bind the past, present, and future. With those words, Dave stood, his staff pointed towards the heart of the forest. The symbols on the parchment rearranged once more, pointing the way to the first clue, the echoes of forgotten quests awaiting discovery. As the unlikely trio set forth, guided by the parchment and the wisdom of Dave, keeper of lost games, they felt a renewed sense of purpose. The enchanted forest, with its ancient secrets and mystical guidance, awaited their exploration, and the lost Atari cartridge became not just a relic, but a key to unlocking a tapestry of interconnected tales. Chapter 4. The Story of a Man Called Dave. Before becoming the keeper of lost games, Dave was once a prominent game designer in the heyday of the 80s. Born with a penchant for creativity, Dave immersed himself in the world of pixels, code, and the boundless possibilities of gaming. His mind, a canvas of imagination, brought to life characters and worlds that captivated the hearts of gamers around the globe. In the bustling era of neon lights and arcade machines, Dave's games stood out not just for their technical prowess, but for the intricate stories woven into each digital tapestry. His creations transported players into realms where challenges were more than obstacles. They were gateways to self-discovery and shared adventures. Outside the gaming realm, Dave had a second passion that fueled his creative spirit: jazz music. In the quiet hours of the night, he would retreat into the dimly lit corners of jazz clubs, a realm where improvisation and creativity flowed like a river. The syncopated rhythms, the smooth melodies, and the vibrant energy of jazz became the backdrop to Dave's life, influencing both his design philosophy and his understanding of the interconnected nature of stories. As the 80s faded into nostalgia and the gaming industry underwent transformation, Dave, feeling the winds of change, decided to step away from the bustling studios. He retreated to the outskirts of a serene town, where the enchanting forest held whispers of untold tales and hidden treasures. There, he found solace among the ancient trees, their branches echoing with the harmonies of jazz. In his newfound haven, Dave embraced a role that transcended the boundaries of game designer. He became the keeper of lost games, a guardian of forgotten quests and untold stories. His staff, adorned with tiny game controllers, symbolized his connection to both the digital realms he once crafted and the natural world that cradled his refuge. The knowledge Dave gained from years of designing games, combined with the wisdom gleaned from the timeless melodies of jazz, allowed him to become a guide for those who sought the treasures hidden within the enchanted forest. His knowing nods and gentle gestures were not just the result of a life spent in pixelated realms, but were also influenced by the improvisational spirit of jazz, where the journey was as important as the destination. As the unlikely trio embarked on their quest guided by Dave's insights, they unknowingly stepped into the footprints of a man who had once danced between the lines of code and the syncopated beats of jazz. The keeper of lost games, with his background as a game designer and his love for jazz, had become an integral part of the enchanted forest, a living legend bridging the digital and natural worlds. Chapter 5. Journey to the Clues. With Dave's guidance echoing in their minds, the unlikely trio ventured further into the heart of the enchanted forest. The symbols on the parchment rearranged themselves, creating a path that beckoned them towards the first clue, the echoes of forgotten quests. Under the rustling canopy of ancient trees, the trio navigated the labyrinthine trails, each step bringing them closer to the heart of the forest. The air hummed with an energy that felt both ancient and alive, as if the very essence of the woods responded to their quest. As they followed the symbols on the parchment, the forest seemed to come alive with whispers of tales long forgotten. Shadows danced among the trees, carrying the echoes of digital adventures and shared victories. Matt, Paul, and Ben moved with a shared determination, their bond growing stronger with each step. The rustling leaves led them to a clearing bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. In the center stood a colossal oak, its branches reaching towards the star-studded sky. The symbols on the parchment glowed intensely, directing their attention to the ancient tree. With cautious anticipation, they approached the oak, feeling the subtle shift in the air. The key in their hands pulsed with a rhythmic energy, resonating with the mysteries awaiting discovery. The trio exchanged glances, a fusion of excitement and curiosity shimmering in their eyes. It became evident that the ancient tree, standing majestically before them, served as the gateway to the next phase of their journey. As if holding its own secrets, the massive oak beckoned them forward with an air of ancient wisdom. With a collective breath, they approached the mighty tree. However, instead of a portal beneath its branches, the ground beneath them shifted subtly, and a mysterious entrance emerged, a labyrinth unfolding at their feet. The symbols on the parchment glowed with a renewed intensity, directing their attention to the enigmatic maze that lay ahead. A new sense of anticipation enveloped the trio as they stepped into the labyrinth, its twisting passages promising both challenges and revelations. As they delved deeper into the intricate corridors, the air hummed with a quiet energy, and the walls seemed to whisper tales of bygone adventures. The labyrinth, a living puzzle, responded to their every move, guiding them through twists and turns that mirrored the intricacies of their own intertwined destinies. The trio navigated through the labyrinth, following the symbols on the parchment as they encountered cryptic puzzles and hidden chambers. Each challenge brought them closer to the heart of the enchanted forest's secrets, and with every step, the bonds between Matt, Paul, and Ben grew stronger. The labyrinth, a living testament to the interconnected nature of their quest, revealed not only the path to the lost Atari cartridge, but also the profound lessons the enchanted forest sought to impart. As they ventured deeper into its depths, the ancient oak stood sentinel, a silent guardian watching over the unfolding tapestry of their journey. The symbols on the parchment continued to glow, guiding the trio through the twists and turns of the labyrinth, promising the discovery of not just the relic of the past, but the keys to unlocking the mysteries of their own hearts. Chapter 6. Chris, Guardian of the Maze. As the unlikely trio navigated the labyrinth, its twisting passages guiding them deeper into the heart of the enchanted forest, they felt a subtle shift in the air. Shadows danced along the walls, and the symbols on the parchment glowed with a newfound vibrancy. Suddenly, at a crossroads in the maze, they encountered a mysterious figure. Cloaked in an ethereal aura, Chris, the guardian of the maze, emerged from the shadows. His presence resonated with the ancient energy of the labyrinth, and his eyes held the wisdom of someone who had witnessed the weaving of countless destinies. Chris, with a demeanor that blended both mystery and warmth, greeted the trio. "Seekers of the lost," he began, his voice echoing through the labyrinth's corridors. "You tread a path woven with threads of fate. The maze holds both challenges and revelations, and I am here to guide you through its intricate dance." As the guardian of the maze, Chris explained that the labyrinth was a living entity, responsive to the seekers who dared to unravel its secrets. He shared tales of heroes who had navigated its twists and turns, each encounter within its walls leaving an indelible mark on their journeys. With a flick of his hand, Chris summoned spectral lights that illuminated their path and unveiled hidden symbols on the labyrinth walls. The symbols reveal not only the way forward, but also the echoes of your own stories intertwined with the forest's magic. Embrace the challenges, for within them lies the key to unlocking the lost Atari cartridge and understanding the deeper mysteries of your quest. The unlikely trio, guided by Chris, continued their journey through the labyrinth, each step resonating with the Guardian's ethereal wisdom. As they faced puzzles and choices within the maze, Chris's presence became a beacon, offering guidance and insight. In the heart of the labyrinth, Chris paused, his gaze filled with a profound understanding. Remember, the maze is not just a physical construct. It mirrors the intricacies of your own destinies, a reflection of the bonds you share, and the challenges you overcome together. Chapter 7. A Tale of Man Called Chris. In a quaint corner of the enchanted forest, there lived a man named Chris, who, in the ordinary rhythm of life, wore the hat of both a loving gardener and a devoted family man. Tending to his garden at home, Surrounded by the laughter of his wife, Eleanor, and their two children, Lily and Owen, Chris found solace in the simplicity of a life well lived. One day, as Chris was immersed in the delicate choreography of nurturing his garden, a sudden surge of enchantment swept through the air. Before he could comprehend the unfolding magic, he found himself inexplicably transported into the heart of the labyrinth that lay hidden within the enchanted forest. Separated from his loving family by the unseen forces that governed the maze, Chris, now the unwitting guardian of the labyrinth, embarked on a journey that transcended the boundaries of both time and space. The gentle rustling of leaves in his garden was replaced by the mysterious whispers of the forest, and the laughter of Eleanor and the children became echoes in the corridors of the enchanted maze. As he navigated the twists and turns of the labyrinth, Chris discovered that the forest had chosen him not just to safeguard its secrets, but to learn profound lessons about the interconnectedness of life. The garden he once tended at home now existed as a distant memory, and the laughter of his family became a haunting melody that lingered in the labyrinth's depths. Yet, even in the midst of this magical separation, Chris's heart remained resilient. He carried the love for his family like a beacon through the maze, drawing strength from the enduring bond that transcended the enchanted barriers. The symbols on the labyrinth walls, once cryptic and disorienting, now seemed to echo the familiar contours of his own garden, a reminder of the life left behind. When Matt, Paul, and Ben, the unlikely trio, encountered Chris, the guardian of the maze, their questions unraveled the poignant story of a gardener whose life had become intertwined with the enchantment of the forest. As they continued through the labyrinth, they became not only seekers of the lost Atari cartridge, but also inadvertent companions in Chris's quest to reunite with his beloved family. The final passage in the maze, illuminated by symbols glowing with a warm familiarity, held the promise of both discovery and reunion. As the unlikely trio ventured forth, guided by Chris's wisdom, the threads of the labyrinth wove a tale that mirrored the resilience of love, the enduring nature of family bonds, and the intricate dance between reality and enchantment. Chapter 8. A Loving Reunion. The unlikely trio, accompanied by Chris, the guardian of the maze, pressed forward through the labyrinth. The symbols on the parchment glowed with a renewed intensity, guiding them towards the final passage. Paul, feeling the weight of their journey, decided to lift their spirits with the magic of 80s music. With a triumphant smile, Paul produced a portable speaker from his backpack, and the familiar beats of 80s tunes filled the labyrinth. The spirited melodies of Journey, Duran Duran, and Queen echoed through the corridors, infusing the maze with an energetic vibe. Matt, Paul, and Ben couldn't help but smile and dance along, their steps becoming lighter as the music transported them to a time of neon lights and carefree joy. As the upbeat tunes reverberated, they stumbled upon an unexpected exit. The symbols on the parchment guided them toward a shimmering portal, its ethereal glow reminiscent of the magic that had brought Chris into the labyrinth. It seemed that the maze, enchanted by the music and the camaraderie of the group, had granted them a way out. With the music still playing, the unlikely trio and Chris stepped through the portal, finding themselves back at the edge of the enchanted forest. The labyrinth, now a distant memory, disappeared as if it were never there, leaving only the echoes of 80s music lingering in the air. As they emerged from the forest's embrace, the unlikely trio noticed a subtle change in the surroundings. The once distant garden, tended by Chris in his peaceful home, now stood before them. The teleportation magic had worked in mysterious ways, bringing Chris back to the place he longed for, the heart of his family. With the enchantment of the labyrinth behind them, Chris approached his home with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. As he pushed open the garden gate, the laughter of his wife and children reached his ears. Eleanor, Lily, and Owen, sensing his return, turned toward the entrance, their faces lighting up with surprise and joy. In that moment, time seemed to stand still as Chris, the gardener turned guardian, reunited with his family. Eleanor rushed into his arms, tears of relief and happiness streaming down her cheeks. Lily and Owen, overcome with emotion, joined the embrace, forming a circle of love that transcended the magical realms and brought them back to the simple, cherished moments of family life. Amidst the backdrop of their blossoming garden and the echoes of 80s music still playing in the background, Chris and his family shared an embrace that spoke of resilience, love, and the unbreakable bonds forged through the labyrinth of life. The unlikely trio, witnessing this heartwarming reunion, felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that their quest had not only uncovered the mysteries of the enchanted forest, but had also played a role in reuniting a gardener with the garden of his heart, his loving family. Chapter 9. The quest continues when an old friend reunites. Night descended upon the enchanted forest, and the unlikely trio found themselves beneath a blanket of stars. The echoes of 80s music had faded, leaving the woods in serene tranquility. With a newfound sense of accomplishment from reuniting Chris with his family, Matt, Paul, and Ben decided to set up a campfire in a small clearing. Gathering fallen branches and dry leaves, they fashioned a makeshift campfire. Paul, always prepared for any scenario, pulled out a box of marshmallows, while Matt rummaged through his bag and unearthed a guitar. As the flames flickered to life, the warmth of the fire mirrored the camaraderie that had developed among the trio. With Paul manning the marshmallow roasting, Matt strummed a few chords on the guitar. The crackling of the fire accompanied Paul's spirited humming of 80s tunes, creating a spontaneous campfire jam session. Ben, who had initially been hesitant about the impromptu music, found himself tapping his foot to the rhythm. As the night unfolded, the trio shared stories and laughter around the flickering fire. Matt, in his usual carefree manner, recounted tales of his whimsical adventures, while Paul delved into nostalgic anecdotes from the 80s. Ben, still adjusting to the newfound spontaneity, couldn't help but smile at the infectious energy of his newfound friends. A rustle in the trees caught their attention. From the shadows emerged none other than Dave, the keeper of lost games, drawn by the flickering glow of the fire and the spirited tunes echoing through the enchanted forest. Dave, with a wide grin and a nostalgic gleam in his eyes, approached the campfire. "Hope I'm not interrupting," he exclaimed, settling into a vacant log. The unlikely trio welcomed him with nods and smiles, making space for their newfound friend. Paul, always the one to enhance the atmosphere, handed Dave a marshmallow on a stick. "Nothing like a bit of 80s music and marshmallows by the fire, my man." Dave chuckled, accepting the marshmallow. "You know, in my game designing days, we used to brainstorm ideas around a fire like this. Great memories." With a nod from Matt, Paul resumed his impromptu concert, strumming chords on his guitar while humming classic 80s tunes. The forest seemed to embrace the melodies, becoming a living amphitheater for their night of camaraderie. As they roasted marshmallows and exchanged tales, Dave shared stories of lost games and secret levels hidden within the digital realms. The symbols on the parchment, now illuminated by the campfire's glow, seemed to resonate with the collective energy of the group. "We've uncovered mysteries together and there's more to come," Matt remarked, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Dave, nodding in agreement, replied, "Ah, the journey never truly ends, does it? The enchanted forest always has more tales to tell." Underneath the starlit sky, the unlikely trio and Dave forged a bond that transcended the realms of nostalgia and mystery. The enchanted forest, with its ancient trees and flickering firelight, became a canvas for the shared stories of dreamers, guardians, and keepers. As the night unfolded, the campfire continued to burn, casting dancing shadows on the faces of the newfound companions. The symbols on the parchment, now a symbol of their collective journey, seemed to glow with a renewed vibrancy, promising adventures yet to unfold. The enchanted forest, witness to their laughter and music, cradled them in its timeless embrace. The unlikely trio, now joined by the keeper of lost games, felt the magic of friendship and the anticipation of the unknown as they reveled in the warmth of the campfire beneath the starlit canopy. Chapter 10. A New Dawn, Matt's Wish. As the first rays of dawn painted the enchanted forest in hues of gold and amber, The unlikely trio and Dave found themselves standing before the culmination of their quest, the lost Atari cartridge. Its radiant glow in the heart of the clearing signaled the end of their journey, yet an unspoken anticipation lingered in the air. As Matt, with a mix of excitement and reverence, reached out to grasp the Atari cartridge, an unforeseen twist unfolded. The luminous path that had guided them through the forest now began to close behind them, as if sealing the story they had woven within the enchanted woods. Caught in the magical threshold between the closing path and the gleaming Atari cartridge, Matt held the artifact in his hands. The symbols on the parchment pulsed with an ethereal resonance, responding to the twist in the narrative. Dave, the keeper of lost games, observed the unfolding scene with a knowing gaze. It seems the forest has one final challenge for you, my friends, a twist to shape the end of your tale. As the path sealed itself, leaving them isolated with the Atari cartridge, a mysterious force enveloped Matt. The artifact, now seemingly imbued with a consciousness of its own, prompted him to make a wish that would not only free them, but also resonate through the enchanted forest. As Matt stood at the magical threshold, Atari cartridge in hand, he felt the weight of the moment. A moment that demanded an epic wish, one that would not only free them, but resonate through the very fibers of the enchanted forest. Closing his eyes, he drew a breath, and with a voice filled with passion, he uttered a wish that seemed to carry the hopes of every gamer who ever pressed buttons and entered digital realms. I wish for a world where every gamer, young and old, finds endless joy in the pixels and polygons of their adventures. May every game be a portal to new realms, every defeat a lesson, and every victory a triumph. Let the camaraderie of online battles and the solitude of single-player quests coexist in harmony. May gaming be a bridge that transcends borders and differences, uniting players in a shared love for the extraordinary worlds crafted by developers. Let the stories told through controllers and keyboards be as diverse as the players themselves, reflecting the myriad perspectives that make gaming a rich tapestry of narratives. And in the vast expanse of virtual landscapes, may every gamer discover not just entertainment, but also empathy, understanding, and the magic of forging connections in the digital realm. I wish for a gaming universe where creativity knows no bounds, where indie gems shine as brightly as blockbuster titles, and where innovation is celebrated as much as nostalgia. May the joy of gaming be a force that fuels imagination, empowers the dreamers, and sparks conversations that echo beyond the pixels. In this wish, let every glitch be a reminder of the imperfect beauty that defines us all, and every loading screen a moment to appreciate the anticipation of what's to come. May the gaming community be a sanctuary of acceptance, where everyone feels seen, heard, and welcomed. And finally, let the legacy of gamers be not just high scores and achievements, but a collective impact that extends beyond the screen. An impact felt in charity streams, supportive communities, and the lifelong friendships forged in the shared passion for play. May this wish, resonating through the enchanted forest, manifest a world where gaming is not just a pastime, but a celebration of the boundless potential that lies within each player, creating a legacy that echoes through the ages. As the words left Matt's lips, the Atari cartridge glowed with an intensity that seemed to absorb the essence of his wish. The forest, now a witness to the epic proclamation, responded with a subtle shift in the air, as if the very magic of gaming had been woven into the fabric of the enchanted tapestry. The symbols on the parchment, dormant for now, held the echoes of Matt's wish, waiting to be carried by the winds of destiny to every corner of the gaming universe. As the echoes of Matt's epic wish lingered in the enchanted forest, a profound stillness settled over the unlikely trio and Dave. The symbols on the parchment, now imbued with the essence of the wish, radiated a gentle glow before settling into a tranquil calm. Chapter 11. Taste of Home. The trio returns. With the Atari cartridge in hand, the group stepped away from the magical threshold, leaving behind the mysteries of the enchanted forest. The ancient trees, though silent, seemed to convey a silent acknowledgement, a farewell that carried the weight of lessons learned and friendships forged. As they emerged into the daylight, The unlikely trio and Dave found themselves back at Cafe Serendipity, the place where their extraordinary journey had begun. The cozy coffee shop, with its familiar scent of brewing coffee and the hum of conversations, welcomed them like an old friend. Gathering around the same table where Matt had first spotted Paul's Ghostbusters t-shirt, the trio and Dave shared a moment of reflection. The symbols on the parchment, now dormant, rested on the table, a silent reminder of the tales woven within the enchanted forest. In the quietude of the cafe, Matt, Paul, and Ben exchanged glances, each carrying the weight of the journey in their hearts. Dave, the keeper of lost games, broke the silence with a knowing smile. Life, my friends, is a series of quests, some unexpected, some chosen. But each quest shapes us, teaches us, and leaves us with treasures beyond measure. Matt, his eyes reflecting the wisdom gained from skipping stones in the enchanted forest, spoke with a sincerity that resonated with his companions. We started as an unlikely trio, brought together by chance, and yet here we are, bound by a journey that surpassed the ordinary. Paul, with his irrepressible spirit, added, "In the 80s, we hunted ghosts and saved the day. In the enchanted forest, we found more than a lost Atari cartridge. We found the magic of friendship and wishes that echo through time." Ben, who had discovered that life wasn't just about deadlines, nodded in agreement. The enchanted forest taught us that even in the mundane, there's magic waiting to be uncovered. Dave, the guardian of lost tales, concluded with a twinkle in his eye. And sometimes, the greatest quests are the ones that lead us back to where we started, a place like Cafe Serendipity, where stories unfold and friendships are forged. As the unlikely trio and Dave raised their mismatched coffee mugs in a toast, the cafe seemed to echo with the laughter of dreamers, the wisdom of guardians, and the timeless tales of keepers. The symbols on the parchment, though still, held the promise that the journey was far from over, that the enchanted forest's magic would forever echo in the lives of those who dared to dream. And so, in the heart of Cafe Serendipity, surrounded by the warmth of friendship and the echoes of an extraordinary quest, the unlikely trio and Dave savored the lessons learned, the wishes made, and the enduring magic woven into the fabric of their intertwined lives. The enchanted forest had granted them more than a lost Atari cartridge. It had gifted them a timeless story, one that would be whispered through the ages, passed down like a cherished relic from one dreamer to the next.